jazzy intro. I love it.
Yes, I love it too.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday night happy hour for the 2023 AuthorTube Writing Conference, sponsored by Fictionary, a story editing software program for writers. And as a sponsor, Fictionary is offering a free month for everyone at the conference, so be sure to check it out in the description. I'm Margaret, a historical fiction and fantasy writer, using this Booktube channel to connect with readers, writers, and other lovers of words. So, welcome to Booktube. We're here to relax, have a drink, and talk about some of the great presentations we've seen. Hint, hint, people in the backstage, and talk about what's to come. Here to join me is founder of the AWC, Esty Houston.
Hello and welcome. I am in the middle of typing because I think that we might have missed someone possibly who wanted to be part of the happy hour tonight. And so I'm just trying to make sure I'm almost done with the email. In case someone had said something about it.
Yes, we've got lovely people in the comments, and everyone is participating as chat moderators and trying to loop people in and keep people included, which is great. So we had Rachel, one of our mods, say something about Troy from Plotter. So that's what Shannon is chasing down. I'll just say hello to people as they're coming in here, though. We've got Felicia at Dreaming Truth, Ariadne grabbing some water, but I promise I'm here. Morgan Lee, another chat mod and presenter. Just lovely to see all these people here that we've some known for a long time and some are just new friends. Yeah. Yay! Just presenters as well. So, your ears may be burning. Janet.
Yep. So by now you guys might have hopefully have heard that AWC has a sponsor this year. It was Fictionary, which we are going to bring on a representative from Fictionary here in a moment. And Fictionary has offered 1 month free to their software for the AWC. So those links should be will be in all the description boxes for myself and Margaret, and hopefully in most of the speakers' description boxes as well. We know that our sponsorship came on a little bit late in the season, so some may not have been able to get it added in time, but you can find it there. It's also all over the website, so you can click anywhere it says Fictionary on the website and be taken to that free month if you want it. And then so let's go ahead and bring Fictionary on screen so they can do their introduction and answer any questions that you may have.
And hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm very excited to be here representing Fictionary. My name is Lisa Taylor. I'm a Fictionary certified story coach, which means I help people edit their amazing drafts into stories that writers love. So our Fictionary community, I'm just finding it so similar to this community as far as our center is around kindness. That's a central word for everything that we do. And our passion is story editing. So we take your stories from the draft and we work, there are lots of writers working with our programs, and I'll talk about that in a second. And they're editors as well in our community, just helping and answering questions. Then we have as well, sorry, I am a bit nervous. This is my first time doing anything like this. So
welcome at first time trying it.
Keep trying. Yeah. So basically what Fictionary does is it's a software first, storyteller and story coach, which takes you can put in your first draft and it does an analysis of your first draft and gives you a story arc so that you're basically taking it at the story structure level and you get to really dig into each scene. It's really exciting how fun it can make editing. And I know that the writers here have come up with some amazing ideas. And there was a discussion earlier on AI and of course, Desiree talking about being a discovery writer and how exciting that can be with or without a plan. And so what we really love about Fictionary is, first of all, as I said, kindness in the community is really important. Secondly, story editing is our passion, but thirdly, what we want to create is stories that readers love. And right from the very start of this conference, everyone in this group really loves creating great stories that readers love. And that's something that we're really passionate about as well. So we'd be happy. We have a free community that you can join that's absolutely free. You don't have to have Fictionary software or anything else. And it is just a community where we talk, we give free seminars, lots and lots of fun things. And then there's the software itself, which is Storyteller and Story Coach, where you actually can do some really fun. It really does make editing fun. I've found it incredible for helping me as far as helping different writers take their work to the top level that they can at the story structure level. That's where we work. It's not like pro writing aid that way. We're actually at the story structure level, and it's so fun to work at things from there and look for plot holes and help with characters and just the amazing writers that I've had a chance to work with as well. And then finally, I just wanted to mention we also have a Book of the Year award this year coming up, and you can find more information in the community. And basically, it's unpublished works that have been edited in Fictionary are open to this. So it's a really great prize. The prize includes working with a literary agent, as well as getting a full Fictionary edit from one of the certified story coaches. So it's a really great opportunity as well. But I have been so excited by what I've seen so far, and just so many of the great discussions here are happening in our community as well. So I'm really excited to see how similar, and it just blows my mind that it's so good that Fictionary is sponsoring this, because the two communities merge so well, and I'm learning so much from everyone that I'm talking to. So.
Awesome. And I could say that I've used Fictionary. I actually used it with my book that just launched on Kickstarter yesterday. And it was, on a very basic level, it helped me realize I spelled a name wrong, like several times. Like half in the book it was one way, and half of the rest of the book it was another way. So it helped me pick that out like right away. And yeah, and it helped me with so many other things. There's so many different aspects to it. It helped me look at my plot structure and where I could, tweak things, make it better. So, oh yes, thank you for dropping my Kickstarter link. Yes, if anyone would like to support it, it is a fantasy romance with dragons, shifters, and love. Yay. And then we do have a video that the other Lisa from marketing provided that we can play that does a little bit of an overview of Fictionary.
Okay, I can do that. Let me take this down to not subtract. And
you've done it. The first draft of your novel is complete. You're already doing way better than most writers who never make it that far. But what's next? Smart writers know that the editing stage is where the real magic happens. Do you start with your plot, your story arc, your character arc, your point of view, your entry hooks, your exit hooks, your settings, your character's goals? Is there enough tension, conflict, suspense? What about backstory and emotional impact? It's all too much. That's where Fictionary software can help. Fictionary was created by writers for writers to help make the whole story editing process less scary. It analyzes your manuscript from start to finish and creates powerful visuals which help you evaluate your story, and then provides you with a comprehensive editing plan. The automated story arc helps you see if your pacing and structure is right. The story map offers a systematic editing roadmap. Clear, actionable advice right within the software helps you learn good writing technique and apply it to every scene. The progress tracker helps you easily monitor your revisions, see progress, and know when you're finished. The blurb and synopsis features are there when you're ready to query. Fictionary is for writers who are serious about creating a story that readers love. Your novel deserves Fictionary. Sign up for a free trial today.
And I would say that what was shown for the free trial, that is not the one that we're offering in the description box from Fictionary that will give you a full month, because that free trial is much shorter.
Yeah, it's a full month, which is amazing, because as well, you'll have a chance to really see some of the events. I'm going to talk about these a little bit in the after show as well, or the after party as well.
Yes,
we have lots of events coming up, and just if you want to know what Fictionary is about, if you pop into the community, again, it's absolutely free, and you'll be able to see Shane's actually doing a webinar on Tuesday to just show exactly how Fictionary works. So if you're interested and you're not sure, you can always just come and check it out and check out the community. And it's as I said, it's free, and lots of our authors join and stay in the community even when they're not using Fictionary for their editing. So,
yeah. All right. Well, I think we're ready maybe to bring on all of our speakers.
You want to bring them on one at a time, or?
Well, what do you think? I mean, we could do one at a time, give them a big screen, or bring them all up at once.
Let's do one at a time, big screen. Have
Okay.
everyone do an intro because I know these people can do it. Desiree.
Dang it, I knew it. Oh man. Hello friends, I am Desiree M. Ortega. You can find me here on YouTube under Coffee Reading Writing. I post weekly videos. I stream live on Mondays at 8 p.m. over on YouTube. Tuesday through Friday, 1 p.m. on Twitch. I am a romance writer. I write romance contemporary, and I am also one half of a co-writing duo for the pen name Desiree, which is also short romance. So that's me.
Nice. And next we've got Anita A.F. Stewart. Welcome, welcome.
Hi. Okay, I'm Anita Stewart, right under A.F. Stewart, all things dark and stabby, horror and dark fantasy. And I also host 2 podcasts, 2 video shows with interviews, Between the Pages Book Chat and Words That Kill. That's for the Go Indie Now network. And I also do designs, and I have a graphics business I'm getting off the ground, and I do all sorts of things, and I'm far too busy.
I think that can be a refrain for everybody at this point. An author life is always going to be far too busy, right? And then finally we have Troy. So Troy, get ready. We're going to make you big, and you'll be able to give us an intro to all the lovely people in Happy Hour. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. And hi, everybody. I'm Troy Lambert. I'm the education lead for Plotter, which is a visual outlining software, but I'm also a mystery novelist and a book coach and editor. Also far too busy, also like things really dark and stabby. And I'm a big Fictionary fan. So I feel like I'm in like kind of the right crowd here. But anyway, so I write about serial killers and stuff like that. I've written over 32 novels. I'm also help people that want to navigate, how to do different things with their novels and how to do plots and things like that. Some guys call me the plot guy, the plot guru, or the plot dude. I will respond to any of those with equal embarrassment. So whatever you want to call me, that's fine.
I love it. Well, excellent. I have a lovely board up here everyone's on, and I had an immediate question. We were hearing some Canadian accents, so we're going to out everyone who, I know Anita is. Everyone else who is Canadian on the panel, raise your hand.
Yeah. Yep, I thought I heard that.
Nice.
And it's so Fictionary is based in the UK. So when they're like, hey, like to come to the happy hour and do after party, and I told them times like, we're in bed at that time. But we have someone who's over there.
Yeah. Nice.
So interestingly, Christina, who actually created Fictionary, is Canadian as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah, but they've been all at a writing conference over in the UK. So I got lucky because I'm also Canadian and love being here. And I have just enjoyed everybody's presentations. And Troy, that was very enlightening. I saw you at the Fictionary conference as well. And this is wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you. And by the way, I love poutine. So I'm not Canadian, but maybe that makes me an honorary, I don't know, whatever.
Why not?
So Joe Wright says, I'm Canadian, but I'm in Oz. Oh, nice. Okay. So it's sometimes hard to track. You got to know accents, and then you got to know time zones, and it can be a little messed up in the head because we know lots of people, and it's constantly enlarging the circle. So, don't blame us if we get something wrong, I would say.
This is how I knew I forgot to send you the information, Troy.
Rachel saved us.
I was like, wait, I didn't email him anything. I was like, oh, shoot, I probably had him down and I forgot it.
That is okay.
Oops.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we've got everyone with technical difficulties tonight. Really handled things so well. Good job, everyone. Thank you. And then I had some lovely comments come in. We're going to ask you about other presentations you've enjoyed tonight or ones that you're looking forward to. So I'll just give you a minute to get your thoughts together as I show these comments. So
I was going back to show it. Okay, you're stopping, so I'm going to go ahead and do it.
I love how much support the community and service provider software companies are showing the AWC. So, of course, that's partly because Shannon chose a theme of tech and like authors and tech. So that's great to see. Rita H., a great day of learning and discovery, which is lovely to hear. Yvette Rosary, hello. My first time here. Happy to be here. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
And then we had some questions about the genre question, specific to genre fictionary groups. And I think Elaine answered it, or Elaine said it, and then Christina was asking. Did you see this, or were you able to clarify?
Yeah, so we have, I notice Elaine's doing great stuff here as far as answering within the comments, but also, yeah, we have genre groups. So each genre group, especially there's a romance group that is very active and has a monthly hangout, and so does the fantasy group. They have monthly hangouts, and those are free as well. And it's just hanging out with other authors, which is just so much fun. Yeah.
Nice. Another Canadian. We're being taken over.
Yes, another Canadian.
Oh,
So, Anita, would you like to start with like presentations, past, future, whatever your
She's
Yeah, well, today's presentation, Brian Cohen's presentation, was the standout for me. But well, he's Brian Cohen, so yeah. I mean, I've seen lots of. I've done his ad challenge numerous times, so I'm used to him. So I always enjoy his stuff. Laura's was interesting too. Especially if you haven't started submission for short stories and you want to, it's very informative. And she did a very nice little piece on how to write a cover letter, which always stymies me when I submit. So, yeah, I may be going back to that one and taking a few notes on that particular piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just came off of Nia's Vixen of Fiction. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm over that too.
Yeah, I got up early this morning because I had to do blood work at the hospital. So my brain's not working. So. But her book cover thing in Canva was very interesting as well. So,
and then when is your because you're the
my
only
present?
one.
Yeah, my presentation's tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing talking about how authors should prepare for doing interviews, panels, author readings, what they need to do, what schedule, how to find them, all sorts of things like that.
Nice.
And how to host if they want to host, if they want to step into hosting them, how to go about doing that as well.
For podcasting, right?
Audio podcast, video
audio
podcasts,
Gotcha.
whatever.
If you guys didn't know, podcasts or video podcasts are being really pushed. If you notice, by YouTube is really pushing it. Other platforms are pushing it. It is a way to go. So this is like the right time for that.
Something to think about.
And maybe we'll just have all our speakers watch your video before next year, Anita, because then we can have cut down on all the tech problems. That'd be good.
A little training.
Yeah, well, you'll never cut down on all the tech problems. But I will give you tips on how to reduce the tech problems, at least, because I mean, you can prepare as much as you want for these things, and then at last minute something stupid happens, like your computer crashes and you have to wait 20 minutes to get into the actual panel, like I did with one of Margaret's there a while back. So,
well, I was up to 3:00 this morning trying to get the website to show the schedule correctly, and had to give up on it because it all went wonky. And that's 3:00 in the morning, and I got back up at 7 to start working on it again. So I've only got half the schedule up there.
But it's available as a PDF, so you can always click the button for the PDF on the website.
Okay. And the playlist is linked on the website, so you can always hit the playlist button, and you'll get all the presentations.
Yeah. And most of the presentations, I think all of them have the playlist listed in the descriptions as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There we go.
And then Six Cat Press says, honestly, I wish this was in person, but
you can actually drink together though.
Yeah. Just a little more expensive that way, right?
Just a little.
It's accessible for many more to come.
We'd all have to go to Canada, it sounds like.
I would want to go.
I
That's
mean,
the middle ground. Yeah.
I would happily do that. I'm not saying that's a bad idea.
Me too.
Just throwing that out there. I'm just saying.
You might have better drinking options in Canada. I'm just saying.
I just have some complaints to lodge about some of your Canadian whiskey, but you guys were very polite about how horrible it was. But anyway,
ouch.
Anyway, but minor complaints. Some of it is really good, but I decided to try to buy something I couldn't get in the U.S. and I found out why we couldn't get it in the U.S. because even Canadians don't drink that. It was horrible. But I used it as nail polish remover, and it was fine. I just cleaned up all my mani-pedis with it, and it was great.
Oh no.
But anyway.
All right.
This is my friend Janet, and I didn't realize this was her. She's from my the women's fantasy group. She's the leader of the women's fantasy group every month that I meet with.
So she had a question about doing a survey on the workshops. You can do it at any time before the closing session. That is the cutoff time. So Sunday
it's going to be at 2:10 p.m. Eastern is going to be the cutoff time.
So like 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday morning. Sunday morning for me. Sorry, 11 a.m. I'm translating in my head and it's coming out of my mouth different. Yes. So anytime before that, on any workshop, you go and you choose which one you're going to review. So you can do them all after or as you go, whatever works for you. And every time you put your email in, you're entered to win one of the giveaways that some of the people here contributed to. And
we've got Anita, who's got a graphic design package she's offering. We've got Plotter, which is Plotter's over there, offering 3 one-year subscriptions to the platform. So, Anita, were you offering anything else, or was it just a design package?
Yeah, it's just a design.
Okay.
I think it was a 3 design, like you get 3 designs in the package.
Yes.
Of your choice, basically. So.
Yes.
Social media, book, website.
Yes. We catch up on
the
chat
YouTube. I was a 3 design graphics for books. Like I can give you 3 different social media graphics or ad graphics or whatever you want, or YouTube thumbnails, or a mix and match, whatever.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, there you can see all the giveaways. So should we ask Troy or Desiree to talk about their presentations that they gave today? And which ones are they looking forward to?
Oh, do you want like my favorites of the day?
Sure.
Were gosh, I just had it now. One in my head. The one gal that did the AI one. Nicole. Yeah, I mean, because I played around with AI, but I thought it was really fascinating the way she talked about it.
She broke it down from an engineer perspective.
Yeah, which is really interesting because I don't understand. Like I always tell people about Plotter, like I write words, not code. So don't ask me how the app works, because that's like, speaking some other language. But
exactly.
So, but it is interesting to hear it from that perspective and go, oh, that's how it actually works. So that was really interesting. And then I love the keywords presentation. I love any presentation on keywords because there's so many different takes on how to find good keywords and how to, put them in the right place. And with the category changes in Amazon, it's even more important. So I'm like, anyway, so that was a really good discussion.
That was him.
So it looks like you have a bone to pick because he enjoys Canadian whiskey. Andy over at Easy Graphics gave that presentation. And
yeah, we can settle that in the back room because I like my scotch old enough to smoke and preferably old enough to drink. So I am a little bit snobbish. So I'll fully admit that. But anyway, it's an expensive hobby. But
you sell enough books to keep it up. So, hey, kudos.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
So tell us a little bit about your presentation. It just went off and talking about technical difficulties.
Yes, we had some technical difficulties, which we should have just set up in StreamYard in the first place, but we're trying something new, and the something new did not work.
Was it through YouTube?
Yeah, through YouTube.
I talked Lisa's company off of not using YouTube.
Oh man, I wish I'd talked to you beforehand. That would have been wonderful. But anyway, so we pivoted really quick, which meant my presentation went really fast. But at the same time, I hope I was able to give you a lot of information really quick, because there's just the interesting thing about Plotter is I've interviewed dozens of authors. You can find those interviews on YouTube about how they use Plotter, and it's never the same. But the most important thing, and I think I've said this tons of times, so you might have heard me say it before, is the and then moment. And this is true of any part of the writing process. It's not just Plotter, so it's universal. You can copy someone else's process, and then your and then moment is when you make it your own. So you say, I started with this process, and you figured out how to make it work for you. So like, I'm a big fan of Fictionary. I probably don't use Fictionary the same way that other people use Fictionary. That's okay. I'm weird. I understand that. But also, like, we're all kind of weird in our own way.
We're writers. We're all weird.
So everybody has their own take on it. So it's like if you're plotting a book, people say, "Am I doing this the right way?" And I'm like, "Well, because there is only one rule of writing. Does everybody know the rule of writing? There's one rule, an actual rule. Don't look at me that there's no rule, Margaret. There is a rule. You guys are
I
looking
heard you say
weird.
it. I don't remember it.
The rule is it has to work.
Okay.
It has to work for you. That's the only rule. Everybody looks at me. Oh, there's a rule. There's no rules. Yeah, there is. It has to work.
I like Deb's response. To write. Yeah.
That is a good rule. I mean, you gotta sit down and write. Like, it's really weird, but it's hard to get reviews on the book you haven't written yet. Nobody's actually done that for me yet. I mean, can you just pre-review my idea? And no, nobody's going to do that for you. So anyway, so it's just, I feel like it's a very personalized experience. So hopefully I was able to give you enough information for you to go and make your own personalized experience, essentially.
I like it.
And I would have to say, because I've heard you guys on several different podcasts now, and like every single time, everyone I hear something new about the platform, like something I didn't know you could do with it. So, and of course, we also have with the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast that I do with Ben Pick from Running to Write and Morgan Lee, we interviewed Plotter already, and they're coming out in our next season that starts in July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah.
And it was super fun.
Yeah, they reached out and said, "Hey, we'd love to come on your podcast." I'm like, "Hey, do you have a YouTube channel, by the way? We have an AuthorTube writing conference coming up."
Nice.
So
Desiree, how about you? Before we get to not roast but toast you, what was your favorite presentation that you watched or that you were looking forward to?
There's a few that I need to go back and watch that I did not have the opportunity to watch. I definitely enjoyed Elaine Canyon. I have the playlist up because if not, I won't know things by memory. So I really loved Elaine Canyon's about thriving as a discovery writer. Granted, it was the same subject as mine. So that was actually fun because I didn't know ahead of time that that's what they were going to be speaking on. So it was really nice to kind of just have that reiterated and the same notion that, you know, being passionate about being discovery writers and the term and embracing that as a writer. I found the first keynote speech very interesting about embracing technology, because especially with AI, we've talked about it in AuthorTubers React and other writing communities. It's something that we've looked at kind of cautiously and with much hesitation. And so just hearing from a different perspective of how to actually embrace this new shift in our society and with technology and how it can actually benefit you, I found very interesting. So yeah, there's a few, all the ones from today I really need to go back and watch. And there's so much for this weekend that I'm excited to see.
I liked how Mark wrapped in the fact that it's not a change in society. It's accelerating, but it's always been there. And we've always had people who are Luddites who want to stay the way it is and not have to learn a new thing to further craft. But, you know, we get along eventually.
Yeah. Eventually you get nudged into that corner and you got to play. Yeah. So.
Yes. Lisa, did you want to?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in.
Desiree?
That's a perfect time to, well, of course, we love Desiree's presentation.
Yes,
I got to see the last little bit of it, and I was just so enjoyed it. But jumping in on the whole AI and technology, I mean, that's what is so awesome about, for me, Fictionary, as far as using technology to really make something that can be really paper heavy, which is pulling apart and looking for your story arc and all of those things, a lot more accessible with technology, using technology to help you. And one of the things Christina's started is a monthly meeting to talk about how to use AI ethically within Fictionary, so that we make sure that we're using generative AI or whatever AI we use, because obviously AI is already linked to Fictionary because it recognizes a lot of language. But it's just such an important topic. And ethics was mentioned in Nicole's presentation, I think, by someone. And I think, to me, that's really so essential. And it makes us feel open, doesn't it, when we hear about how technology has been there and been changing all this time. So, okay, so we'll open up to it, but also that we need to take responsibility for it as well.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's a really big deal. We've started looking at AI and Plotter and how the two work together, if they should work together. And I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that at some point they should.
Yeah.
But how that happens is, again, it goes back to the ethics, and because I think I'm not as concerned with the ethics around the text part of it, simply because I think there's a lot more. I don't think that one's as tough as the one around graphics. And I think that the ethics around graphics there's just a lot of questions right now. And I think that's going to be settled in courts and by legislation, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I
think
do like,
I
was going to say, I do like the way Adobe is heading in the AI direction, the direction they're doing it.
Everyone opting.
Yeah, they're doing it in-house, and they're also doing it as a part of Photoshop. They're incorporating the AI into Photoshop. So it's all sort of in-house, and they're planning, that's what they've said, to compensate the
artists
as part of their AI generator once it comes out of beta.
Yeah, it's in beta right now. I'm on the beta, and it's actually
so am I.
The Firefly is really, I mean, it's actually really amazing technology. But I do like the way that Adobe is training it off of their stock photos, and so they know where it came from. They know where that image came from that they're training on, and they do plan to pay the creators of that art. And I completely agree with that. I will pay more for generative AI in the art realm that pays the creator for the work, because I understand as an author, and I've had authors say it should just be free, and I'm like, no, it should not, because those people have created things as well. You don't give away all your books for free. Or as I said in my presentation, I clearly like to eat. My wife likes nice things, so I need to make money, and so I can't give away all my books.
And it also costs Adobe to run the AI too. So I mean, they have to pay for it as well. So they have to compensate it too. So
yeah, and I agree. Better than stealing everything off DeviantArt. Oh my God, oh my goodness, that's just just can of worms. You just blew that thing up.
I would have to say that a ton of Deviant artwork is now, you can tell it's AI. I've used to go on there and see all this original stuff, and it was beautiful. And now I look at it, I'm like, oh, I know that's AI. You know what's AI right now? It's not good enough to pass the test most cases. So, and I'm like, how are they getting away with this?
Yeah, it's like writing though. It's like the generative AI for writing. Like I have yet to find something that came out of AI that was usable as is. You have to modify it almost without exception. It takes human modification to make it usable, as far as even graphics wise. Like you will get some interesting graphics, but can you use that like just as it is? And most of the time the answer is no. You really can't.
Yeah, go do a AI on Firefly and put an eye patch in, see what you get. You get some
An iPad what?
Stuff.
An eye patch.
Eye patch. Oh.
Yeah. I've been doing character sketches. I've been doing character sketches on the Firefly, just to help visualize things and just for fun. And one of my characters has an eye patch, and the poor AI cannot figure out what an eye patch is.
The nerdy something is on YouTube, and he actually went in an eye patch on one of his characters, and he showed how he did it. He used different prompting, to get the eye patch there. The nerdy something. I'm trying to remember the rest of
I eventually used their new generative fill, the add-on to Firefly, to get the eye patch in, because you can actually do better on that than you can on the AI generator.
I think he was using the one on Adobe or whatever. So I don't. Sorry, I don't remember what it was.
You use the generative AI that's in Adobe instead of the AI creator Firefly itself.
Okay.
And it's called generative fill. That's right.
Yeah, I think so.
And anyway, so that's what it's. Yeah, but it's interesting when you do it on another AI for it try to figure out what that is. Like it doesn't know, so it's a lot about prompt engineering. And I'm like, for the writing part, by the time you narrow the prompts down enough to get something usable, you could have just written the chapter. So just put your butt in the chair and type, and use AI for things like proofing and things that it's good at, but don't use it to generate your actual fiction, because it's terrible. It's just not usable. It's terrible. And
So what about the case of audio? Because we talked about graphics and we talked about
oh,
words, but Mark Leslie Lefebvre used audio AI that he had trained. I don't know how much time he put into it, but it was convincing to me. I would have listened to an audio
yes,
out of him.
you train it with your voice.
Yeah,
If
you
you're
train it with
training it
your
with
voice.
your
Yeah.
voice, then that's okay. When
Yeah.
Apple was kind of sneakily using AI to train off of other people's
Find away
voices
voices too.
through
Yeah.
Find Away, I was a big fan of Find Away, and now suddenly I'm not. Because
Oh,
when they provide an update to the contract, they tell us, don't worry about it. It's just because we merged with Spotify, it's changes that don't matter. And then we go
oh,
deeper and go, oh,
Yeah.
so now what I agreed to is you can use my narrator's voice to train your AI without compensating him and without my permission.
yeah.
Well, technically, I gave permission because I signed the
Right.
contract. I'm like, nope, we are all done. That is a no, because I don't mind AI narration, because I think in audiobooks, I think we will have AI narration by people that just they listen to AI books or to audiobooks at like 1.5. It doesn't matter what the narrator is, but we have those people that will love the production value of a really produced AI.
Mm.
So AI narrated books will be the paperback of audiobooks, and then you will have the hardbacks, which
That is
will be the
Yeah.
produced ones that are
Yeah.
excellent. And so people will pay more for those if they like that. So
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. But we're going to have AI narrated audiobooks. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. Doesn't matter.
I recently joined the team of Audiophile magazine, and they rate and review narrators for audiobooks. And so I've been listening to a lot more narrators and their experiences. And one of the vendors, or one of the books that was reviewed, was a person and like a 20-member cast and all these sound effects. And it was like a full-on radio drama type production quality. And I was like, wow, I did not expect any of this at all. So yeah, that would be hardcover, sprayed edges, signed edition. Like, that's a good metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Tat Pa Rosella saying Joanna Penn has done that, training the voice as well.
Mm.
Yeah. What changed at Find a Way? I think we got that resolved. Yeah, Nia's saying it's a Black Mirror episode with that craziness, but Find a Way Voices changed it after the outrage, Shannon says. Yeah. All right. So we had Shannon put this in. Let me see if I can find it. Ta-da! What was your favorite presentation today? We got some answers in the comments as well. Just to like go through again. Thank you, Victoria. Oh, I'm skipping here. There we go. My favorite by far with Desiree's. There were so many great ones. Nicole had great notes about how AI works. That's awesome. I think Ed's talking about how fast we listen to audio.
Wow, 1.7.
Yeah. Anyone think they will try Apple Vision for writing? I don't even know what that is. Anyone else know what that is?
No.
Yeah, I was skipping between to help chat moderators and tech issues and stats. So I caught part of everyone's presentation, and it seemed pretty lively in the chat, which was great. The cover one, we had 3 people doing different like examples, and that looked really great. Felicia says the discovery writing, and there were 2, so you have 2 to choose from there. Cat Paw really liked Laura's on the short fiction and submissions. And Ari says, really enjoyed Laura's publishing short stuff presentation. She works for a literary magazine. There's still things Laura presented on that I've never heard of. Yeah, here we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, Morgan Hazelwood also gave a really good presentation on how to work with beta readers. And especially people had like a lot of things like, hey, this happened with my beta reader. What would be the best way to go about this? And so many people had great ideas about how they do things. So
Yes.
We had asking about doing Camp Nano. And let's go back to this one. What are you looking forward to next?
So many.
So many.
So many.
yeah.
I haven't talked about mine yet, so I'll just jump in while I'm on my channel and say I'm going to be talking about a choose your own adventure sort of approach to your path to publishing, because I like having choices, but I don't like making decisions. So this is going to be like for all the people who are like me, who don't like making decisions because you don't like the stakes of like making the wrong one. This is to give you a little bit of a roadmap of all the things you will have to decide on so that you can like choose where to pitch your battles. Because for me, after 10 years, I was like, okay, now I know where the trouble spots are, where the mud is, where the sinkholes are. And, you know, I'm working on that. But yeah, so choose your own adventure and some guest appearances by other author tubers to help us in specialty areas that I do not specialize in. So hopefully that'll be fun. Tomorrow at 5 Eastern, I believe.
That is awesome. I just have a question for you, though. You like choices, but you don't like to make decisions.
Yes.
So you really enjoy buffets.
Yes. Exactly.
Throwing that out there.
Road trips, you you're off and you don't, whatever the day brings, it brings. It's an adventure.
Just checking.
Yes.
I like this by 6 Cats.
I will write 0 words this weekend, but we'll be a much better writer.
Yes.
Fair, valid, right?
Yep.
There you go.
Me too. This is what I'm looking forward to in the morning. Michael
Laurent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, Ed.
Yeah, dictation is a big thing. I'm looking into doing more of it because it is so fast. Even though I'm a fast typist, I type 120 words a minute.
Oh, wow.
On average.
I'm like between 20 and 30 on most cases. So dictation works really well because my brain works really fast. And so I can say it as fast as my brain is going. I can't type it that fast. And then I forget what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, that comes down to there's two different speeds that you have as a writer: your physical ability to get words on the paper, and then your storytelling speed, which is how fast you can tell yourself the story in your head. And the closer you can match up those two things, the better off you are. That's why dictation doesn't work for some people, is their brain doesn't work fast enough, and so they're better off typing. And some people even are better off handwriting because I could never handwrite because my storytelling speed is way too fast, and I wouldn't be able to read it.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the 2 different speeds you're dealing with. So actually, it's like interesting because you have to pair those 2 up the best that you can. So as a writer, again, it's a way of finding your and then in your path.
And Chris Fox actually talks about exactly that in his book, 5,000 Words Per Minute.
Oh.
Yeah. He said exactly that. You have to match up your speeds. And so it's not, dictation doesn't work for everyone because of speeds.
Yeah.
So shouting out the first page critique panel tomorrow, which is going to be amazing. Shannon, off the top of your head, do you know who is going to be the editors critiquing pages?
Yeah, so we have Morgan Lee, who works as an editor, and she's also an author. We have Emma Bennett, who is a hybrid. She's traditionally published and indie published for many years. And we also have Mark Leslie Lefebvre, who is with Drop the Digital, and will be joining us. And he's actually, I think he's away because he was going to join us for many of these sessions, and then he ended up being wherever he's at. I think maybe it's another conference. I don't know. I don't remember what he said now. So he's going to be
on a road trip, having an adventure.
So he's going to join us from wherever he's at to come on screen. So yeah.
Nice. And the marketing by Shelby. So Shelby Lee, we mentioned her earlier. She is like big on TikTok, and she's taking lessons from TikTok and bringing them to YouTube. So that's going to be really
doing it really well.
Yes.
I mean, she's grown fast. Her channel has grown really fast. I mean, for me, it's fast. For some people, maybe not as fast, but I look at that, I'm like, wow, that's like you were just a couple hundred, like not too long ago. Now you're over 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're again looking forward to the Courtney Projects, one of my longtime favorite channels.
Yes.
On Working Smarter, Not Harder, and Michael Laurent's On Dictation. Yes. Honestly excited for all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, we like that
So
feel.
hard.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, got a good point. As someone who draws and writes, I need the dictation help. I can save my wrists for drawing. Yes.
So one day you can dictate drawings.
Yeah.
Imagine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Let's see. All the people in the chat. So lovely to see you all. Writing their book by hand. Does anyone on the panel write their book by hand?
My carpal tunnel won't let me. So sadly, unfortunately, no.
I do have, for taking notes, I did get one of those remarkable tablets. And it actually is really good for like doing your journaling and your daily pages. That's what I can handwrite those. I can't handwrite drafts of novels, but there are things I can handwrite. And for taking notes in classes, it's really useful.
So did you
My
compare
handwriting.
that?
Huh?
Sorry, did you compare the Remarkable to the Supernote? Because I know we have Writer Sandwich
Yes.
they're coming up with a presentation about the Supernote and doing a little bit of comparison. So that would be interesting.
Yes, I compared the Supernote, the Remarkable, and the Kindle Scribe, which is
Oh.
not
I've heard.
good.
Yeah.
Not good. That was
I'm so sad to hear that.
yeah.
She's not an AMC fan.
What I will say is that was a premature release that they released for Christmas with an MVP, a minimum viable product, and it's really not that good. So that's my personal opinion of that one. For me, the Remarkable was the best one, and I also ordered the Type Folio when it came out, and I was one of the first ones to have one, and it's really cool.
Nice.
So,
nice.
but yeah, so well worth it for me. For other people, that might not be so. But even with the keyboard on that one, I can still type incredibly fast. So I don't. That's just. I've been typing since I was 8. So, on an old Royal, and then moved up to an IBM Selectric. Shut up! I'm old, Margaret. Don't give me that look.
Is that one of the ones with like the blue screen and the white type, the Selectric?
Oh no, that was pre that. That was where I had the ball. It had the ball instead of the Royal had the little keys that went up and they would get stuck together if you typed too fast.
Yep.
You'd have to pry them apart. And the Selectric is the one with the ball and then the ribbons. And the ball is what spun around to make the letters on the paper.
I was just talking with a house guest about the last time I used a typewriter, and it was 5th grade for my state report. So that is long in the past. And any typing I learned that was quick was actually computer typing. So
I went to the American Writers Museum in Chicago, which if you ever go there, it's on on Michigan Avenue, and it's kind of tucked away. It's hard to find, but they had one of Ray Bradbury's typewriters, and I typed on it.
Fun.
I stopped there and typed on it. I typed a bunch of stuff on it. My wife videotaped it while I did that.
I was going to say this one, writing poems by hand. I wonder if this goes back to like your thinking speed, because I think poems do take a little more thinking power.
To more intentional about each line.
And they're shorter, but yeah, I do think that they're intentional. Honestly, I'm a klutz. I know y'all don't see me in real life. I used to teach college English and literature, and I'd always tell my students, if you see me trip, it's normal. But I fell down a mountain because I was a klutz 12 years ago, and I tore my TFC. It can't be fixed because there's no blood flow, so I can't really handwrite. I'm a right hand person, so.
And Anita, you were saying you write by hand. Is that poetry or is that a different?
I write by hand bits and pieces mostly. Usually around midnight when the muse decides you can't go to sleep now. You have to write. So yeah, it's like I'm not turning the computer on. I just get the notebook out and write down whatever the heck is in my head, and then I go to bed. So that's. But I mean, I write out scenes by hand. I write out poems by hand, and then just transcribe it into the computer later. I mean, I don't do the whole thing. I know J.D. Estrada writes the whole thing by hand.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I can just write poems by hand, but I can't write for too long before.
No.
But that's the way he does it. He can't do it the other way. So
he can't do it like he can't type it up. It doesn't work for him.
No, he has to write by hand and then transcribe it.
Wow. And you guys know J.D. Estrada was one of our speakers who ended up having work take over his life, where he had to cancel his presentation this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, he's an awesome speaker. We had him last year.
Yeah. So as we begin to wrap this up so that we have a few minutes before the after parties, I just wanted to highlight down below the AWC playlist for anyone who wants to rewatch, take notes, or plan their day tomorrow, and definitely sit your butt down in front of a computer for a lot of the day, as I will be doing. But, remember to take breaks, be safe. And
to give you guys a heads up of who the hosts are, we have Fictionary for one host and Laura Nettles for the other. I'm joining Fictionary with Nicole Wilbur and Amy Rosenfeld, and Margaret is joining Laura Nettles with Morgan Hazelwood,
yes. And so this is the other thing I wanted to highlight, that if you give feedback on sessions, anytime before Sunday, that is the link for that. And I'm just going to pop the links in.
And you can fill those out at any time up until 2:00 tomorrow. I mean, if you watched a video, or sorry, Sunday. If the days are running together for me because I haven't slept. Yes, and you can fill it out at any time. So if you caught like Desiree's earlier and you want to go back and you want to catch Nia's, you can write a feedback form on both of them.
Sweet.
There you go. It's in the chat. It couldn't be easier. No excuses. We'll see you at the after party, right?
Yes.
Any final words from anyone on the panel here before we close out?
You want to just let them give their outros where people can find them?
Sure. Yes. Where should we go to find you? Let's
More
go clockwise. So start with Lisa, then down and left.
Where to find me at Fictionary, I guess.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which you guys have a YouTube channel and
and the Circle community and everywhere else. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. You can find me at Coffee Reading Writing or under Desiree M. Ortega on most socials.
Yeah, you can find me at afstewart.ca. You can see the link there under my name. And I've got all my socials, all my books, all my everything on that site. So
Yay.
And she also has a podcast, right? Well, it's your YouTube channel / podcast.
Yeah. Although it is temporarily on hiatus at the moment, but I'm still doing specials here and there.
Okay,
so.
okay. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing as many come up.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to retool it, but I just needed a little break to think about how to retool it. And but then the Crystal Lake Publishing asked me to do some interviews with their horror authors, and I'm not passing that up. So
Right, no.
Nice. And Troy.
There you go. And I'm Troy Lambert. You can find me at Plotter. You can also find me at troylambertwrites.com. And I always tell people you can just Google me. If I don't come up right away, your internet service is down. Contact your provider. And when you get that back up, I will be all over the Googles. So if you Google my name, you will see my face everywhere.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for being here for the Friday happy hour. We've got Saturday happy hour. We've got Sunday content. Stick around for the whole weekend and find some new friends.
Can I do my outro?
Yes. Go ahead.
I was like, what happened?
Thank you, everybody, for coming. And my name is Shannon. I write under the name of Essie Houston, a YA fantasy author of the author of the YA fantasy trilogy, Clash of Goddesses. I have a brand new book that is out and available for pre-purchasing on a Kickstarter campaign, a fantasy romance, A Curse of Feathers. Scales and Feathers. Yes, A Curse of Scales and Feathers, which is about dragons and curses and shifters and fae and love. And and I will see you guys tomorrow. Or in the after party, but I'll see you on my channel tomorrow for the first page critique panel.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. And now it's time to dance party as we saunter out to the next place. Okay. Bye.
Bye.